In the past, the demon lord Varvatos grows weary of his existing life. Consequently, he intended to have someone defeat him to revalidate his human nature. But there lacks a person strong enough to achieve that task. Thus, his last resort is to execute reincarnation magic. In the present day, it's the 10th birthday of Varvatos' new life as Ard Meteor, who was born to a pair of average, ordinary people. During this current era, the study of magic has diminished. However, on the positive side, his physique is notably athletic, providing him with excellent strength and physical abilities. When questioned by his parents about his aspirations in life, Ard privately contemplates his desire to cultivate a friendship of equals with someone. This objective, however, does not materialize when he attempts to befriend a group of boys and subsequently some girls, but on both occasions, he fails to connect with any of them. Ard later expresses his frustration by destroying the forest near his home, and when he pauses to rest by his house's doorstep, he receives a visit from the mayor, Olhide. From him, Ard discovers that the most effective way to make friends is to be kind and respectful. Energized by this, Ard adheres to Olhide's guidance. Yet once again, he struggles to leave a good impression on his peers to form friendships. Frustratingly taking out his anger on the monsters in the forest, Ard hears a young girl's voice in distress. Soaring to the spot from which the voice emanates, Ard witnesses a young elf girl battling an ancient wolf. Upon closer evaluation, Ard thinks the girl is merely expressing her anger against the creature. Back at Ard's residence, Olhide enjoys tea served by Ard's parents while discussing how his daughter has been acting withdrawn due to bullying and rumors. Returning to the girl, she reduces the wolf to ashes with a magical incantation, and Ard surmises the girl's identity to be Lydia. Noticed by the girl, Ard makes an effort to strike up a conversation, but his attempts to compliment her through praise or critique are unsuccessful. This prompts Ard to directly ask to be her friend, a plea the girl tearfully declines before fleeing. Back at Ard's home, Olhide bids farewell to Ard's parents, and the girl, who is revealed to be the mayor's daughter Irina, embraces her father. As she expresses her disdain for the countryside, Ard returns, stating that he followed Olhide's suggestion yet failed. The two would then encounter each other again, leading to a succession of Ard's attempts to befriend Irina, all of which end in failure each time. Eventually, a significant group of monsters made up of goblins attacks the town. While fighting off the monsters, Jack, Ard's father, tells Ard that the monsters invaded the town due to a faulty dungeon core. As it turns out, Olhide informs the two that Irina had ventured into the mountains earlier that afternoon, and Ard blames himself for being overly friendly with her. Soaring away, Ard discovers Irina encircled by a pack of goblins led by a hobgoblin. Just as Irina was accepting her fate, Ard arrives and dispatches the goblins with a few spells, and then takes out the remaining two goblins and hobgoblin. Jack, now with his wife Carla, is shown to have defeated all of the goblins in the town. While Jack is concerned about Irina, Olhide is not, asserting that his daughter will be safe. Returning to Ard and Irina, the two make amends with each other, and Irina finally acknowledges Ard's friendship. Years later, Irina surprises Ard by climbing into bed with him and proposes that they join the Academy of Magic together. Ard and Irina both meet Headmaster Golde of the Laville National Academy of Magic. Golde graciously introduces himself to the two as the Academy's headmaster and remarks on their heritage as the offspring of national heroes. Due to the achievement that Ard accomplished in his youth, he was exempted from the practical entrance exam for the senior division, but is still requested to complete the written section. Committing to perform well in that part, Ard later discovers that he failed the exam academically. However, in other aspects, as stated by Golde, his responses far exceeded those that have been projected. In simpler terms, the answers that Ard provided have significantly advanced the contemporary magic techniques. It's at this moment that Golde announces to the students in the vicinity of Ard's brilliance, but also how he is the son of the legendary mage Jack and warrior Carla, who once vanquished the evil god Dikeus, and an enigmatic figure observes the event unfold from the shadows. Later, Ard and Irina discuss their parents' previous achievements while strolling down a hallway. Upon entering their classroom, they are confronted by most of their fellow students who request to befriend them. Apart from those students, there was a small group that did not display the same level of respect, and they then witness a young succubus being harassed by a noble student. Irina steps in, and the bully introduces himself as Elrado, mentions the house he belongs to, and defends his actions by asserting that the girl belongs to a house that serves under his. Ard then intervenes and insists that the girl be treated with fairness and that he apologize to her. This results in Elrado suggesting a duel between them to resolve the issue, and Irina then identifies Elrado as someone who achieved becoming a mage square at a young age. As Elrado brags about his lineage, Olivia arrives on the scene and demands to know if Ard was the main cause of the disruption. Hesitantly, Ard admits that he was and inwardly wishes that Olivia doesn't recognize him as the reincarnation of Varvatos. During his brief exchange with Olivia, she allows the duel to proceed between El Rado and him. Later outside, Ard considers how he would battle El Rado without Olivia becoming aware of his true identity. The duel then commences with El Rado striking Ard with various types of flare spells, but Ard effectively counters every one of them with barriers. Ultimately, Ard triumphs in the duel using his own Giga Flare spell. After Irina compels El Rado to uphold his part of the agreement, she also reassures the girl to reach out to her or Ard if she finds herself in trouble again. Olivia then interjects, which annoys Ard, and she inquires about how he managed to double cast 2 spells during the fight. Embarrassed, Ard offers a clumsy explanation as to why, but is informed that what is called double casting was a skill lost in the modern age and is considered common knowledge. Despite her cautious attitude toward Ard, Olivia retreats, but asserts that she will uncover the truth soon enough. The next day, Olivia begins to officially instruct the class and divides the students into groups. Noticing the girl was alone, Irina requests Ard to invite her to join them, and he complies. Irina then proposes to the girl that she joins their group. She agrees and introduces herself as Ginny Findesalvon. At the site of the class assignment, Olivia directs the students to go to the dungeon's 3rd floor and hunt and skin a black wolf. Turning her focus to Ard's party, she asks Ard if it will be easy for someone like him. Once again, flustered by Olivia, Ard steers his group away from the situation. Eventually, the group comes across a pack of black wolves, and Irina and Ard handle them using a flare spell. This, however, proved to be somewhat problematic for them, as the remains of the wolves turned out to be overly charred to skin. Feeling insecure about her ability to contribute to the team, Ginny apologizes for her uselessness and mentions how El Rado scolds her for her ineptitude. To help Ginny build some confidence, Ard offers her some personal magic lessons. Despite her reluctance, Ginny ultimately accepts the offer, and they begin immediately. But Ginny struggles to match Ard's magical skill. Although Ard attempts to uplift Ginny's spirits, her self-esteem was shattered by the torment she faced from El Rado and his companions. So, Ard then demonstrates a new form of magic he developed called script magic, and then goes on to teach it to both Irina and Ginny. Before long, Ginny is shown to have mastered the magical technique, and then the trio falls into a trapdoor, leading them to a level where they confront a minotaur. Seizing the opportunity, Ard utilizes the encounter as a means to further instruct the two about script magic and permits a mentally rejuvenated Ginny to vanquish the beast. Back on the surface, the group hands over the horns of the Minotaur they overcame, and though it's claimed that script magic was employed to conquer it, Ard refutes this assertion. El Rado then scolds Ard for what he perceives as depending on the girls excessively, and Ginny speaks up in Ard's defense before smacking him aside, while Irina further humiliates him by placing a basket of black wolf pelt over his head. Enticed by the incident, Ard attempts to depart only to be halted by Olivia, who wishes to engage in a lengthy discussion with him. Golde and Olivia request Ard to join the student battle event that the Queen will attend, but Ard adamantly declines. In an attempt to persuade Ard to change his mind, Golde points out that the event presents a chance for the school to secure a larger budget. Ard then explains his reasoning for declining, stating it contradicts his aesthetics. Olivia then refers to her younger brother, who once expressed the same sentiment and subsequently reincarnated without her approval. Ard asserts that he will contemplate the proposal and subsequently reflects on the implications of declining the opportunity. At that moment, Ginny approaches Ard and invites him to go on a date with her. Ard accepts. Suddenly, Irina enters the scene and wishes to join the date, and Ginny gladly accepts, stating she doesn't want to monopolize Ard. Additionally, Ginny proposes that Ard should start his own harem, but Irina is clueless about the concept, prompting Ginny to explain it, and upon her understanding, Irina outright dismisses the idea. Afterward, the group goes on their outing in the town and begins by watching a play. The play was a retelling of the former demon lord Varvatos, during which both Ginny and Lydia embrace Ard, leaving him confused about the depiction of his past life. Following the play, Ginny guides the group to a dining location, and on their way, Ard overhears a group of cloaked individuals discussing the Queen. It is then agreed that they would all follow the group, and they trail them into the sewers, where they find the group standing before a large circle. Just as Ard states that he comprehends the circumstances, they are confronted from behind by more members of the group, which turns out to be a trap intended to capture them. Ard deduces that the cloaked group aims to seize them all, but the leader activates the magical circle, engulfing Ard in flames, prompting a correction of Ard's conclusion. Nevertheless, Ard emerges unscathed from the fire and obliterates the circle with his own spell, subsequently taking down the remaining members besides the leader. With no other options left, the leader transforms into his true demon form and casts Lightning Burst to create an escape route through the ceiling. Ard chases him, and upon reaching the surface, the demon takes a young girl hostage, inciting panic among the onlookers. However, Ard reassures the people using his name and the name of his father, Jack Meteor, affirming that everything will be all right and that the hostage the demon held was an illusion. The demon is then vanquished by the spell Flash of Babel, and in the aftermath, Ard is elevated into the air for his achievement. The next day, Ard, Irina, and Ginny meet with Queen Rosa, and Irina is revealed to be familiar with her. Rosa then proposes marriage to Ard, but this offer is declined, leading to Ard's promotion to Pentagon class. Instead, Ard requests an increase in the budget for his academy. The Queen, intrigued by Ard's humility, grants both title and budget to Ard and Irina, while appointing them as the Queen's shadow. Ginny is also awarded the Triangle class as well. Meanwhile, more of the cloaked figures converse about their previous attempt against Ard, but they remain confident in their ability to achieve their true objective regardless. Ard is approached by a female student, whom he politely turns down, proposing that they remain friends instead. Nevertheless, the student attempts to seduce him, but is interrupted by Irina's presence. In his office, Goldie updates instructor Jessica about Ard's decision to abstain from participating in the forthcoming battle event. Additionally, he has faced rejection from the other teachers regarding his ability to teach there, and Jessica assures Goldie that she will handle the situation. That night, Ard reflects on Irina while lying on his bed and is visited by Ginny, who is wearing a light skirt. She then attempts to seduce Ard, while Irina, still upset from earlier in the day, sits on her bed in her room. She finally decides to go to Ard's room, but enters just as Ginny makes a move on him. In disdain of what she perceives is about to happen, Irina hurls various items at Ard. Ginny intervenes to prevent Irina from her actions and discovers Irina's reasons for visiting, learning that she holds her responsible for all the female attention directed at Ard. This revelation sparks a heated argument between the two, culminating in a challenge to duel, but Ard intervenes and chastises them. He then has them sit down to apologize to one another. Just before they are about to shake hands and reconcile, Jessica rushes into the room and suggests they resolve their differences in the upcoming battle event. It is also noted that it would serve as a great opportunity for Ard to become an instructor at the academy. At first, the two are reluctant to accept the proposal due to Ard's counsel, but they are persuaded when Jessica mentions the uniforms that instructors are required to wear. On the day of the battle event, Baron Weiss, Jack, and Carla are depicted as special guest commentators. Ard, who is upset by his parents' commentary, then converses with Olivia, who mentions that Alvarto would be willing to instruct the two fighters. However, Ard is completely unaware of who Alvarto is, a fact that Olivia seems to understand. Meanwhile, Irina is called into the arena after the ongoing match ends. When the match commences, Irina struggles to counter her opponent's spells, but by utilizing the script magic she learned from Ard, she succeeds in overcoming her opponent. The battles progress, and in the finals, it's Ginny versus Irina. When the head commentator asks Weiss for his views on the situation, he asserts that he thinks Irina made it this far due to Ard's support. The match then starts, and before Ginny and Irina can take any action against one another, demons appear in the audience and cause chaos throughout the Colosseum. As Jessica informs Ard and Olivia, the demons are also assaulting the area outside the arena. In the arena, Ginny and Irina manage to eliminate the demons that attack them, but they struggle with the crystal golem that was created by the demons. Weiss employs his magic to destroy the golem, but is then stabbed by Jessica's hand, who then reveals herself as Elzard, the frenzied king of dragons. After she commands Irina to come with her peacefully, Ginny attacks Elzard. However, her magical spells are intercepted by Elzard's barrier. She subsequently knocks out Ginny, and when Irina surrenders, Elzard seizes Irina and ascends out of the arena.